Hello, my YouTube audience. It's good to see you again. This is Jonathan Farrell here for video number 6 of my How to Draw Cartoon series. And in this video, we're going to be looking at how to draw the human face. We're no longer sticking just with simple cartoon characters. We're going to learn how to draw a realistic human face, but how to draw the human face from the side. So in video number 5, you learned how to draw a human face from straight on. And in this video, you're going to learn how to draw the side view of a person's face. And so if you can just bear with me for 2 moments, I'll pull up Sketchbook Express. All right, so the reason why I feel it's important to teach you both perspectives, just as I was showing you with the simple cartoon character, learning how to draw a person or a character in 3 dimensions, how to draw them from multiple perspectives, is really going to free you up in being able to draw that person or character in lots of different contexts. If you only learn how to draw a person from face on, things are going to look really stiff and awkward depending on what's going on in the scene that you're creating. So learning to draw from the side is important. So as in video number 5, in this video, I'm going to ask that you fill up your page with the majority of the face, because that is what we're going to be focusing on here, is the side view, the face. And so if you want to draw a circle that is roughly about, we can even make this larger. Just going to resize it here. Just a moment. Make this even larger. Make this about 3/4 the size of your page, leaving some space between the circle and the side of whatever page you're working on, because we're going to have to draw some facial features, leave some space. So yeah, start by drawing that circle. I'm going to erase some of these extra lines here because we are going to be adding quite a bit of detail as we progress and continue, but just erasing that extra. And just going to enlarge that. And the first thing that we can do is to draw a triangle coming off, an angled triangle coming off this circle at an angle, and it's going to come to the halfway point. So if we were looking at the halfway point of this circle to be about right here, the point of this chin comes to the halfway point of that circle, and then we're going to draw the back part of the neck sticking off. So I don't know if you can see this yet. Don't draw what I draw right now. So eye, nose, lips, eyebrow, ear, etc. So that's the direction that the face is going to be. So this back part is the neck, and this is the chin sticking off. The next thing that I would like you to do is to, I'll just draw this in red. The line in front of this triangle, draw at an angle like this. And this red line will make sense in a few moments, but just draw that line there. The next thing I want you to draw is a line that lines up at the top of the face and the bottom of this chin, and divide this into 6 equal parts. So you're going to draw the halfway point between those 2 points and divide each of these into 3 chunks. Excellent. And then the next thing we can do is extend this forward, and this will give you, just draw these very lightly, this will give you a rough idea of where the nose, mouth, eyes should be located. So these are the same 6 chunks that we used in video number 5. The faces can be, the vertical axis of the face can be divided into 6 parts. Now we're going to zoom in. And the next thing we're going to draw is the nose. So this is the nose line right here, this guy right here. And we're going to have a line extending from the eye line. So this is the eyes, this is the mouth, this is the hairline. So we're going to have a line extending from the eyes out to this red line where the nose is. And then this comes in, and the mouth is located down here. And we're going to have two lip shapes Just if you can bear with me. So this lip comes down, top lip shape, bottom lip shape. So the inside part, so this green part, there should be this V shape extending towards the center of the face. And the mid part of that point is right in where that mouth line should be. And then this comes down and you've got your chin shape right here. Now, to simplify the side view of the lips, and this isn't all lips, but just sort of stereotypical lines, you've got this curved line, and then the top lip, just draw as like a, I'll make this purple, make this a point, sort of a V shape sticking forward, connected to a curve, and then you've got the chin. So I'm just going to draw in the black again. Okay. And the reason why we drew this angled line here is because all of those facial features come in at an angle. They get smaller. So from up here, it's quite wide, the nose, and all those features typically fill up this triangular space coming down towards the chin. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw our eye. If you can just bear with me. I'm going to draw the eye. And I'll just zoom in here. So this line right here, this is the eye line. And if we're drawing an eye from the side, the central part, just like how we drew in our front view of the face, the corner of the mouth, which is right here in the purple, should come up, and this should line up with the center part of our eye. So we're going to draw a triangle shape with a curve. And actually, I'll just keep this consistent with my rule of 6. The center of this curved line should be right in line with this eye line. And then this triangle comes backwards. So just make sure that the edge of the mouth lines up with where the center of this, I'll just use purple, of where this lens would be. And then you can fill in. So the side view, I think a mistake that a lot of people would do drawing an eye from the side is they would draw like a really skinny oval, and a really simplistic cartoon character might look something like this, with hair and an ear, like a really skinny oval. But what I want to propose to you is that a more realistic eye is, it's like a V shape with this rounded lens. And I'll just zoom in, make this really large so it's easy to see. So drawing this curved line of the iris, the colored part, a central curved part for the pupil, and then we're going to have a little bit of a highlight right here for the eye. So just the side view of the eye. I'm going to erase this circle from the back. All right. And now for this ear, I'm going to draw where that ear location should be. So if we can divide this circle in half, vertical line, and the top part of the ear, as we've stated in video number 5, is connected to that eye line. The bottom of the ear is located to it attaches to the head where that nose line is located. And then we're going to draw the ear shape coming out. So note that it comes out of that line. It comes out of this line. This is not, the ear doesn't fit into this. It comes out of those two lines. And also the ear is located right in the middle of the head. All right, then the next thing that we can do is draw a little bit of an eyebrow ridge on the side of this face. Now, if you just kept it as a circle, that's okay. But to make this a little bit more believable, as I mentioned in my last video, there's the shape of the eye socket that is going to affect the overall look of what's going on in a person's face. And one of those features is there's this eyebrow ridge of where the skull would be located. So this ridge, I'll draw this in red, this ridge is important. Keep it subtle, but a bit of a ridge located right above, indicating a little bit of the top of that eye socket, will actually help add quite a bit of believability to what's going on here. And then this line can come in. So a little bit of a ridge above the eye will actually help add a lot of believability. And then the eyebrow of this individual will follow, as I said in the last video, the flow of the top of the, and this eyebrow should be located kind of just above this ridge. And it starts no closer to the center of the face than the edge of the eye. I'm going to draw a bit of the ball shape. This comes up, and then this comes down and around. And generally speaking, that eyebrow will follow, like if there was sort of an eye socket, follows the shape of that eye socket. All right. Next thing that we can do is draw out our hairline, where this hair should be located. So this line right here, we're going to have a bit of a sideburn happening here, drawn up to, and again, this line right here, this red line, is where the hair grows out of. It's not where the bangs are located. And then we can draw where our part is located. In this instance, we'll just say the part is sort of this point at the back of its head. And as in the front view of the face, little hairs that come out of where that part is, and then larger chunks that come forward. Then we can erase some of these extra lines. More emphasis, and draw a few extra chunks coming out. The trick to drawing hair, there are so many different styles that my recommendation would be simply just study what you see and attach it to this basic skeleton underneath. So I'm not going to even spend time teaching you how to draw different hairstyles. The best teacher will be just to draw what you see. Draw the basic skeleton of what I've shown you up to this point, and then attach or draw on. I'm going to just extend these bangs forward a little bit. But the best trick of all is just to draw what you see. One thing that I will point out to you at this point, though, about drawing hair, regardless of the hairstyle, typically there is going to be, around the crown of the head, there's going to be a highlight that follows the form of where that part is located, and keeping it random. So notice how there's these chunks here that go from thick to thin all the way around the crown of his head. If you then fill in this part with sort of that airbrushed tool, fill this and fill in, it's not going to be, you can fill in around that white crown. But that white crown is typically going to exist, so I'll just draw this in purple. This white crown is typically going to exist surrounding the part. So for instance, I will just use my tool to erase because it'll take too long otherwise. So I'm just erasing that. Now let's say he had a part running along here. So there's just sort of this straight line. This is the part of his hair. Typically, you would then have chunks of white coming out and following on both sides that part. And then you'd go in with your airbrush tool and color in around where that highlight is located. So I hope that makes sense. The white highlight should be random chunks, letter M and N shapes, also kind of creating almost like this repeated diamond shape again and again. But it follows the form of whatever's happening with that part in the hair. Okay. Finally, you have underneath your chin, the neck, connecting to the shoulders. And again, a common mistake with necks is they're drawn way too thin. Remember in video number 5, where that head was with the chin, you've got your eyes, nose, and mouth. The neck is where the ears are located to the head, and that comes out. So thinking about that, I'll just quickly erase this here. Thinking about that, the thickness of this neck should almost be, a little bit into the chin and almost to the back of the head. One difference, however, between a female and a male, and this is casting a stereotype to make a point. This is definitely not true of all males and females, but depending on the musculature of an individual, if they are skinnier, the back of the neck will come in with more of a curve with the front of the head. So there's going to be this curved shape coming into, so there's going to be less space. So this space right here wouldn't be filled in with muscle. However, if you're more muscular, you are going to have a solid neck that is pretty solid, almost straight from the back. If you're really muscular, there's hardly going to be any indentation at all. It's just going to be neck. Pure neck if you're really muscular. So the thickness of the neck will depend on what's your body build, how big is that individual. So yes, then you can go in and just add a few features. Like for this nose, I'm just going to add a little bit of a nostril here and erase around there. Just got a bit of a nose and nostril. And the ear, we will quickly erase. And the inside of that ear, just draw using my pencil. At this point, I'm going to keep this video short. I know my videos have tended to be very long. We will go into more detail with ears and noses in our next video. But for this one, just keep it simple. We've got a lobe of the ear, bit of an indication of the folds of the ear coming in. But as far as what's actually going on in there, the ear is, if you study the ear, things can be pretty random, but probably the simplest schematic that tends to read as an ear is this big oval rounded shape plus a little lobe on the inside. And people tend to forgive that. They're like, oh yeah, that's an ear. Then you can go in and add a bit of a t-shirt and fill in the rest of this with whatever color you're wanting. And you've got your side view of a person's face. So yeah, thank you for sticking with me for the side view of a person's face. And in our next video, we're going to be looking at specifically noses and ears, with maybe a little bit of a few other features relating to the face that we'll look at. And then in the video following that one, we will be looking at how to draw a human body. So we've looked at the proportions of a simple cartoon character. We will then be looking at the proportions of an actual human's body. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.